Well, the first thing to remember when talking about the oil spill is there's a lot of variables and a lot of questions about what this oil spill could possibly do. A lot of unanswered questions. We'll have to see how the situation evolves if they get the oil wells capped underneath a mile below the Gulf of Mexico. But clearly there's a lot of oil on the surface right now in the Gulf of Mexico. And mostly we're watching for surface winds in particular that move those around. It's a very thin film, mostly on top of the water. Over time, however, some of this oil can coagulate, come together and form balls or patties, and that's the concern for the Gulf Coast of Florida. Could actually arrive perhaps on the west coast of Florida, but we don't know a time frame. We'll have to just kind of wait and see if that happens. It's a possibility as well it could stay offshore. We've heard some experts talk a lot about the loop current, and this is essentially part of the Gulf Stream. It comes out of the Caribbean, runs into the Gulf of Mexico. Part of it continues to spin, but other parts go into the Gulf Stream, which is around the southern part of Florida and up the east coast of Florida. So concern for beaches on really both coasts, including the Florida Keys. Some experts say that if, and that's an if, the oil spill would get into this loop current, it could possibly bypass Florida's west coast beaches, in fact, even the Keys, and go around that area. But there's really a lot we just don't know about it. I think for the short term, we really have to watch the surface winds, whether it's north or south, which way it could move that oil slick, and then we'll have to watch how deep it should possibly sink. That could also be an effect on reefs long term, and of course Florida's west coast beaches. But for now, we'll watch surface winds and also that loop current to see if that could be a factor in playing in moving that oil slick closer to the west coast of Florida.